That's right, I'm back. I haven't made a video in a hot second. I gotta come back with some fire. If I was gonna make a mixtape in the form of a dating advice video on YouTube, this would be that video. We're gonna talk about how to get a guy to like you without you having to do a damn thing. I know, it sounds like it makes no sense. You're probably thinking, Tom, what if I can't do this? Don't worry, my young grasshopper. The only way that you can screw this up is if you do something. What the hell am I talking about? Well, it actually comes down to just 6 simple words. Originally, I was gonna put this in Attract Academy, but because it's been so long since I actually made a video, I had to come back with something good for you guys. I was trying to think of like a title for this video, and the one that came to my mind at first was 6 simple words that make a guy 10 times more attracted to you without you having to do anything. But that apparently doesn't fit in the title. It just sounds so tempting, and it sounds like it makes no sense, because it kind of doesn't make sense, but I'm going to explain throughout this video how that makes complete sense. And that's what I love doing with you guys. I love mind-fucking you a little bit. So, what are the 6 words that I'm talking about? The 6 words are these. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I know you're counting in your head, is that actually 6 words? It's 6 words, don't worry, I double checked. But you've probably heard that phrase 1,000 times, and you're like, great. Thanks for something that I heard when I was like 5. How does that help me? Well, today we are gonna dive deep into that quote. What does that quote actually mean? And how do we use it to make guys want you? Here's what the quote is saying, okay? Absence, basically when you are absent, when you are not there, when you are not doing anything, makes the heart, the person's emotions grow fonder, get bigger, become more affectionate towards the person that is absent. And the whole reason I'm making this video is because I have just been absent for 2 months straight. And while I was gone, there were 2 kinds of reactions to me being absent. The first, I'm just gonna be real, a lot of y'all didn't even know I was gone. You completely forgot I existed. You saw me in your feed on YouTube and you're like, oh shit, I forgot that guy was alive. And then the other half of you were like, oh my god, I miss Tom, where are his videos? So what we're gonna talk about is how to get your crush in that 50% that misses you more when you're absent and you're not doing anything, and hopefully not the first half. But before we get into that, the first thing that I want to point out is while people will miss you, if you are absent for too long, like 2 months too long like me, eventually you'll realize while absence does make the heart grow fonder, eventually, if you're out of sight too long, you'll be out of mind. When I was doing research for Attract Academy on this subject, I saw like a lot of debates on like those 2 quotes. It was like, absence makes the heart grow fonder, out of sight, out of mind, which one is it? And there were a bunch of people arguing which one was more true. And then there were people that were a little bit smarter and they were like, no, it kind of depends on like who you are. There's no one size fits all answer. And that's a better answer because it's more true. But if you want to go a step higher, you understand that it is in your control which of the 2 categories they're going to be in. So eventually the conclusion that I came to, and this is what I want you to understand from this video, is that absence makes the heart grow fonder, but prolonged absence makes the heart forget. That is advice for getting someone to like you. That is advice for getting yourself to stopping liking someone. It's all around. That is just good advice. Write it down somewhere. For example, let's say you meet an awesome dude, okay? You guys hit it off. You're having a great conversation. You give him your number. He doesn't even send dick pics. He's like the one. You're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna meet up with this guy again. He's awesome. That's because at that moment, you feel that way emotionally. Here's the problem though. Emotions always changing. So maybe you had a great time talking to him that night, right? You guys are texting back and forth, everything's good. So he might hit you up the next day to make plans, but let's just say you got a shitty attitude because your boss Karen made you come into work on your one day you had off. You're probably not gonna be as excited to go meet Prince Charming as you were the day before. Is that your fault or is it his fault? Trick question, gotcha, it's actually Karen's fault, but it doesn't matter whose fault it is because at the end of the day, you guys aren't gonna meet up anyway. That's just one example. There's a million examples you could use there. But the point is, when you meet a cool person, sometimes you feel exactly the same the next day. Other times you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna feel that way at all. But it is completely up to one thing, which is how you made them feel or how they made you feel when you were around them or when they were around you. Where am I pointing? That's why I wanted to put this in Attract Academy, because that was going to be the end of this video, and the next module was going to have all the techniques on how to do that. Can you tell I've been working on Attract Academy a little bit? Because I have. But if that feeling that you had the day before goes away the next day, all that means is that you didn't feel strong enough emotions when you were with them to have it carry over to the next day. It means too much time went by. So the goal when you're with them is to get them to feel as strong of emotions as possible when they're with you. Now, if I was a jerk, I would just end the video right there and I'd be like, oh, you want to know how to do that? Well, you gotta go get Attract Academy on January 1st. But I'm not an asshole, so I'm actually going to give you a couple techniques you can use right now. However, there are going to be more in Attract Academy. I can't just give away the whole thing, but if you want some now, that's why I'm here. So how do you do that? Well, first, let me turn the tables on you for a second. Let's talk about ourselves for a minute. How do you know if you like someone else? Let's answer that question first. If you want to pause the video and leave your answer in the comments down below, I would love to hear how you know if you like someone else. This is actually a question I've gotten multiple times. It used to be just, yo, how do I know if a guy likes me? Now it's like, yo, Tom, I don't even know how to read my own mind. How do I know if I like a guy? Which I thought was a weird question because I'm kind of like, I don't know, you just know, and it's a feeling. But if you don't know if you like someone and you want like a simple test to know if you like a guy, this is a simple test you can just run on yourself. If you want to know where your heart is, look where your mind goes when it wanders. Thanks, Tumblr. Pay attention to what you think about when you daydream, when you night dream, when you future dream, when you're dreaming about your future. If you're thinking about a specific person and you're running through like these imaginary scenarios in your mind that involve that specific person, you care about them. So now that we know that, what you want to do is make that person have imaginary scenarios with you. You want them to think of you. And the best way to do that is by giving them something to think about that already involves you. I'll let you do what you want with that advice. You could probably go in a couple different directions. But here's a great example. Schedule a date that you guys are both gonna go to that is in the future. For example, a concert, okay? Let's just say you, the person you both like the same music. That person, they're going on tour, they got a concert, they're gonna be in town in a couple of months. You guys like the same music. If you have that in common, go to a concert with them. Make them buy the tickets, that way they have to follow through. They can't like flake on you last minute and they got these 2 tickets that you spend money on and no one to go with. Or at least have a friend who also likes the same music so you have a backup just in case. But I recommend have them buy the tickets. When they buy the tickets, they can't flake. You buy the ticket off of them, that way both of you got one. Now, every time they listen to their music, they're gonna think of you, they're gonna think of the concert, they're gonna be imagining going to the concert with you. That's just one way you can do it. There's a million other things you could do that get the same result. But the point is, there are people that can be 1,000 miles away from you, and they can make you feel better when you think about them than someone who is sitting right next to you. And that ultimate goal is that when that person thinks about you, they feel good. Obviously, I go way more in depth on this topic in Attract Academy, so if you like this video, if you learned something from this, if you want to learn more, well, you can't get it yet because it's not out yet, but you can click the link in the description down below and you can get more information on it. It comes out January 1st. That's the official date because that's the only day of the year where people actually believe that they can change. So if you're serious about actually making 2018 your year, if you don't want to be alone and trying to stick to your New Year's resolution, I don't even want to call it that because no one ever sticks to those. If you actually want to become the most attractive version of yourself at some point in your life, might as well start January 1st with the rest of us. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up down below. If this is your first time ever watching one of my videos and you don't hate my face, feel free to subscribe because we make videos like this at least every 2 months. But guys, that's really all I've got to say on it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.